we cut back to Yuji and Todo fighting, and this is when like Todo's like, all right, I'm gonna unleash my technique, you know?
Oh yeah.
You know, it's so nuts because like you think of like this big brawly dude. You think his like technique is gonna be something like, I don't know, I make myself bigger, or something.
Right.
And like you think usually the big brawly dude is an idiot. And like almost every anime, like the big jack dude is a moron.
Right.
And like his technique is like playing 3D chess, dog.
You know, it's interesting. I feel like his technique isn't. It's kind of like a Mirio situation where it in itself is not very busted.
Yeah.
But the way he uses
the application,
the way it's applied makes it so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because Mirio and My Hero, he can just go through walls. Yeah. He goes to the floor, and you're like, that sounds like like ass. What kind of ability is that? But he applies it. I mean, he uses it to advantage. He's literally beating up an entire classroom of
heroes. Yeah.
Right? Going toe to toe with like the worst villains, right? And Todo's the same thing. His Boogie Woogie, right? Yeah. That's the name of the ability.
Boogie Woogie.
Is when he claps, he switches positions of something or someone.
Yep.
Right.
So we first see this when he's like, I'm gonna unleash my technique. Just one thing, keep going and trust in me. Yeah. And Yuji's like, okay, those are two things, but sure.
yeah.
And like immediately, Hanami pulls out a root from underground and like starts swinging Todo and like throws him towards some spiky things. I remember watching this for the first time and like, oh well, I guess he did.
Yeah.
And like you just hear, and then they cut to like Hanami like bleeding, and then Yuji like because he thought he was fighting Hanami, like punches Todo. And he's like, oh shit. You know? And like Todo's standing there, and that's when we learn, like, he's like, yes, my technique is I swap the place of how did he explain it? Because he hides information initially. I swap the place of me and my opponent by clapping my hands.
Yeah,
that's all he says. And later on we found out more about his technique, but it goes to show, like, yes, explaining your technique makes you stronger, but that doesn't mean you have to be like necessarily truthful.
I mean, like,
he's kind of like
omitting, kind of leave stuff. Yeah, because Hanami does that when she shoots the rosebuds to Megumi. She's kind of like, I mean, he's like, why are you telling us this if there's nothing we can do about it, right? And she's like, well, because the more I talk about it, the faster it happens, the stronger, you know. So you see a little bit of that, like I said, throughout the anime. People are explaining their technique.
Yep.
And so he's swapping, and it just becomes beat. Like, they're just beating on Hanami.
It is nuts. Like, my favorite scene, there's like a scene when like she's understanding, like, I can't get out of this. Yeah. Because like their builds are too different. They keep swapping. I don't know if he's swapping with me, if he's swapping with Yuji. I don't know. And it's just like Hanami's face in distress, and like 4 Todos pop up going, and one of them is like, But
it's busted, and it's such a good, like, I feel like I said, it shows how in tune he is with his curse energy, with his ability, like his physical strength. I mean, he's such a talented dude. I don't mean to glaze him hard, but it's like,
glaze him, bro.
For him
the GOAT.
To be like if I had that ability, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be like, man, what the hell am I gonna do with this? Yeah. I mean, it sounds cool. It'd be very situational, and he's like, no, you run in, dude. Yeah. You fight. You destroy these, and then maybe use the technique. You know what I mean? He's all hands.
Because like, you think about it, Yuji's not really doing anything besides fighting. Yeah. Right? Like, because Todo just said, just keep fighting. Yeah. And Todo's the one that's like constantly swapping them around. And then there's one point where like Yuji goes in and he claps, and Hanami's like, oh, he's switching. And then Yuji just punches him. He's like, why was there no switch? And then Todo like reveals, like, just because I'm clapping doesn't mean I'm using my technique, you know? So like that adds another layer of like, oh my God, bro.
I mean, it truly is. It works great in pairs, right? Because I think if he's by himself, it's a little more difficult. But in groups, it's like amazing. Yeah. Right? Like you said, you don't have to trigger it. You don't have to. It's such a fun fight, man. Like I said, if you haven't watched it, watch this fight. Yes. I promise you.
That's what I always tell everyone when they're watching the show. I was like, just
skip
to this
the first 19 episodes.
Just get to episode like 18, and I promise
it's like The Office. Skip season 1. Go to season 2. Don't do that with JJK.
Yeah.
You will be so lost. You will never watch it again. I think if you
what are they talking about?
Right.
But so this fight goes on, and again we see Todo's like battle IQ, right?
Yeah.
Because Hanami again tries to use the buds. Yuji and Todo are standing together, and then she uses the buds, shoots him off.
Yep.
Then Todo claps, switches Hanami and Yuji, and then that's again another thing that he never revealed. It doesn't have to be him. It could be two other things, and Hanami's like, "Oh, I didn't know he can do that." And then Yuji's like, "Oh, he's protecting me or whatever." The buds are coming towards him, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna reinforce myself with curse technique." And then, like in the split second, he goes to his autism world, and like he has an inner monologue with his pop idol Tanaka-chan. Yeah. And like she's like lecturing him like, yeah, those are the same buds that hit Megumi. So what is he's like, so what is the more likely cause? And he's like, cursed energy.
Yeah, somehow.
And it's like like the little thing says 0.0001 seconds.
This happened in like 0.001 second. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He literally has a flashback dream.
Yeah, it's like he goes into his autism.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And
in a classroom.
It's pretty funny. And immediately stops protecting him, because like like we've mentioned before, we saw that with Nanami when he got punched by Mahito. He could protect himself with curse energy.
Yep.
That's the same thought he had. But immediately released it.
Yeah, because he realized like, oh, the more curse energy I fight with, the stronger the buds get.
Yep.
So they just kind of like hit him and like he just rips him off.
Yeah. So it's pretty funny, and I guess the Hanami was kind of like, what the hell, right?
Yeah, like how do you figure it out?
How do you figure it?
This man pulls off one of the buds and he's like, I'll have to thank her at her next event. Like, this man is nuts.
Yeah,
he's so insane.
Yeah. He's very delusional, dude. Like, he's so weird.
Oh my God. He's like a top tier Twitch subscriber with his parasol shit with this woman.
Insane.
It's so funny though.
What is it? Delusions of grandeur?
Yeah.
What is it? What is going on with this man? It's pretty insane.
It's so wild, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.